before you call him a man. Yes, and how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must a cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Hey everybody, boy, I've had a fun week this week. Been making food and going a little bit out of the norm here and having a ball. I don't know if you've seen some of the other videos I've done, but I had just a ball doing them. A good buddy of mine asked if I would do this particular song, and I was actually kind of having fun doing it. It's one of those songs that when I was younger, believe it or not, I'm sorry, I tickle myself. Anyway, it's one of those songs when I was younger. I learned how to play when I was very young. That's the easiest way to put it. You know, what's really funny about this is all kidding aside, I owe my playing of the ukulele to my brother. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I had to be about 4 or 5. My brother had to be about 9, somewhere in there. And he got a silver tone guitar from my mother. I don't remember if it was for Christmas. I don't remember if he got it for his birthday. I remember he wanted one, he got one. And the very first thing he did, as brothers do, is he looked at me right in the face and he said, "Don't you touch this. Don't you put a finger on this. If you touch this, I'll kill you." But it was on. You don't tell a little brother not to touch something and think you're going to walk out of the room and he ain't going to touch it. So as soon as I had a free moment, I went over and I was taking it out of the case and I started messing with it and starting to play it. And nobody knew. Well, I don't think anybody knew, but I would do it just as secret and quiet as I could. And we had some back in we called it the music room in Mom's sewing room. They had some music books. My sister was taking piano lessons. And in that book, it was a Glenn Campbell book. We had a Baptist hymnal. And we had a Glenn Campbell book that I remember trying to learn out of. And in those books, it would show you which finger, just like this ukulele book, it would have the finger charts above the notes. And I would take the songs that I heard, and I would try to learn how to play them. And it was like a song called 500 Miles, and Blowing in the Wind, and Lineman for the County, and By the Time I Get to Phoenix, those kind of things. And that's another reason why I know so many old gospel songs, is because anything that I could learn that I had heard that I could play out of the Baptist hymnal, I would play. I can't tell how many hymnals that I know from the time that I was between 5 and 10 trying to learn how to play. So, my brother, I know you're going to watch this. I owe it all to you, buddy. I wish you'd have told me something like, "If you learn science and get rich, I'll kill you." If you learn how to count cards and go to Vegas, I'll kill you. Anyway, well, look, I had a request for this song. My buddy Gwen, she wanted to learn it. And hello, Gwen. Hello, Miss Doris. And she wanted to learn it. And it's I'm got to look. Been talking so much, forgot the page number. It's on the, what is that? That's page 36 in your ukulele book. And got talking and forgot all about it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Ukulele. Pete here, and he's already on a tangent. He don't know why. But look, we're going to go to the music real quick, and we're going to go over it. It's pretty straightforward. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a song that's got a good pick. The melody's a little bit faster than the stuff we've been playing, and so it's a good little picking song. And it's not too bad. It's got 4 chords instead of like the last song we did had 3, but this has got 4, and none of them are hard. And it's actually one of these songs that everybody knows. I think they do anyway. It's a song you already be familiar with on the melody. So, and when we get to the playing part, I think I'm just going to play it one time through, and going to try not to sing like Bob Dylan. My little imitation in the beginning of this was probably really bad, so you don't want to hear that again. I might do a little bit just because it's a lot of fun. Hey, you want to see something funny? Okay. Here we go. Here's my imitation. Well, got my little hair sticking up in there. Here's my imitation of Bob Dylan on a roller coaster. I'm sorry. Thinking myself before I ever started. Ching, 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 ching. Hey, ho, whoa, hey, ho, ching, 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 ching. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny. Hey, you want to see my imitation of Tom Petty on a roller coaster? I'm sorry. It's the exact same thing. I was going to do it, but I'm not. Anyway, I think that was bad enough as it was, wasn't it? All right. Let's go to the music. Meet you there. Alrighty, y'all. Now here we are looking at the music, and you'll see there's 4 chords to this, and there's nothing really hard in the music, but I think this is the first time we've had one of these. What this right here means, let's see if I can get it in focus here. What this actually means is it means cut time. Normally you see a 4/4 or a 2/4 or something like that, and that would tell you that there were 4 beats to a measure when you're counting. Those of you that know music, you know what that is, but those of you that don't, you know that means 4 pats of your foot between 4 pats of your foot between that bar and that bar right there. So what this means is, in cut time, what that means is if it would get 4 beats, it now gets 2. And so this little guy that was a half note, he's now a quarter note, if that makes any sense. Just trying to help you out a little bit here. And these 2 guys just became 8 notes. So when it would be something where you'd say, like you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, it'd be like, how many? That's the way it would count out. It'd be, this would hold for 2 beats, dee, and then that would be dee, dee, like that. Okay, now, but in cut time, what that does is it turns this into 1 beat. So it's how many roads. It's actually, you're cutting it in half. And the only reason I'm going through all this where I normally wouldn't is because if you've got any type of musical experience, you understand it. If you don't and you're trying to get the melody line, you may understand it if I explain it a little bit. That's all it is. But there's your first singing note, and it's the second string. In ukuleles, if you count strings, your first string is always the furthest one away from you. And then it's the second one, and the third and the fourth. Normally you'd have a tendency to count from the top and say that that's the first down, but it's not. It actually, if you look down at your ukulele when you're holding it, that string furthest away from you, that's your first string. So your second string is your first singing note. That's an E, and look at there. That little note right there is an E too. So anyway, nothing real big and spectacular here, but notice that your lyrics and stuff are down here on the bottom. Once you get past your second verse, it's actually down here, and it's down here on the bottom, and you'll have to learn the song well enough to go down here and get the additional lyrics at the bottom and sing them to the verse. I guess they figured once you went through a couple times, it should be easy to remember, but that's another thing. Remember, it repeats at the bottom and goes back up to the top, meaning that it goes from here to the top, and it keeps going until you get down through your third verse. Now, I'll tell you a little something here real quick. When you're finishing up your song, once you've played that through the last verse and you sing the answer, my friend, and it's blowing in the wind, the answer blowing in the wind, if you'll go up here, you can actually make like another ending by starting right here. Just go back up, hit your D, and say, the answer, my friend, and sing it. You'll have a second ending. It's just a little tip right there. So, anyway, let's get to some playing, all right? Nothing fancy here, and sorry about the shadow. There we go. Nothing fancy here, and we'll see you in a little bit. I just got the giggles. I can't do this. I just been having too much fun just sitting here playing all by myself, playing the song and just having fun with it. And I don't want it to come across that I'm disrespectful to Mr. Dillon or his song. I'm in one of those moods. That's what I am. I'm in a laughing mood, and I don't know why. Me and the missus have had an absolutely wonderful rainy day, watching some shows and letting the dog sleep and having a ball. I've been having a lot of fun. I'm sorry, y'all are missing out, and I apologize because I just realized just how scruffy I am. Sorry about that. But look, all right, here's the song, and we're going to go through it, and I'm going to sing all the way through it. Now, you remember in the music I showed you where I showed you that the verses were down below the song, and if you've looked at the music, you know what I'm talking about. Don't forget your singing note. Don't forget that it's in cut time if y'all know how to read music. If not, just play it to the melody in your head, because everybody's heard the song. If you hadn't, go to YouTube and look her up. And Bob Dylan, there's one where he's one of my favorites. He's playing it live, and he's got a harmonica on, and it's probably back in the '60s. He's real young looking, and he's got short hair, and Lord knows he hadn't had short hair since the '60s, but or that short of hair. Anyway, what is wrong with me? But we're going to do this. It tells you with feeling. I mean, the song is actually at the time it was written, it was a very serious song. It's actually a historical song. It's a protest song, protest against the Vietnam War, and it's got a lot of deep meaning to it, and it's got a lot of things that transpire and transpose in today's environment. I mean, it really does. It's a wonderful song, and it doesn't lose any of its meaning from the '60s to today. Still means the same thing. It still has got a great message to it. So, anyway, you about ready to start singing? Got my little ukulele out here. Look, when you're playing these songs, I'm going to tell you real quick here. When you're playing these songs, you ain't got to play them fast. I've said this before. What you got to do, though, is you need to figure out when you transition from one chord to another, look and see where your fingers go. Take the time. Don't sing it first. Just actually, the best thing you can do is to take the music and don't have an instrument. This is actually what I do. I just did this not too long ago. I was in there going through the music. I take it. I don't have any instrument in my hand. I've got the music, and I'm going through it, and I'm looking at it. And the things that I look for are how one note transitions into one chord transitions into another. That's important because it tells you where your fingers can be while you're going from one chord to another. Try to think ahead while you're playing. Think of what that next chord is going to be and where you're going to go to it. And I'll tell you something else too. The slower you play, the slower that you learn it and learn the song. Just drag it out for a little bit, meaning play it really slow. And get to where you're transitioning on up here when it starts with the A and it goes to the D and the A. If you start off slow, with me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that finger up into that position. See, this is how I make a D. I take that finger. Let's see if I can do it like this. I take that finger, and that's the one I had trouble turning. But I take that finger, and like when I go to A, this is the A, and I drop that finger. I slide this over, and I'm doing this so I can show you though, but I slide this over. I put that finger there and that finger there. I'm doing that transition, but when I first start playing, I do it slow because I know where I'm going. And then I can go back to the A just by sliding. I mean, really all you're going to do is you're going to slide that finger back like that. See? I'm sorry, I'm making it into an F sharp, but there to there. And then when you go to E7, I have to change up a little bit, but all you're doing is that E7, wait a minute. Get my chords mixed up here, but then all you have to do is move these two fingers and bring that there. See that? That's not too bad, right? There, slide it up there, and then there. Now your F sharp is just adding that finger. So if you keep that in mind when you're learning how to transition from your chords, it won't be that hard. It won't be so bad. When you're going down through, play it slow. Take it one line at a time. And if you have to, just, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people, they just want to get right into play, and I understand that. But if you think about it, use your mind, think about it. That is a loud ukulele. You see that? Take your time. Now I'll tell you something. That actually sounds good. Once you get playing, there's little things that sound good to you. This is what sounds good to me. When I go from here, hear that? You're dragging that finger from that A7 up into that D. Anyway, just a little tidbit here and there. That's all it is. So let's play the song. We'll get through it real quick, and we'll get to the end of this, and I think you'll be happy with it when you start playing it. It's a great song. It really is. All right, here we go. Now, don't forget some cut time, but that don't really matter. If you want to play it in 4/4 time, just play it faster. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? And how many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Now, I'll play that a little bit slower for you beginners out there. I'm going to go to the second verse. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Actually, let me play the first verse again the way I think it should be. See how I'm sliding that note? In there, I just did that, I'm sorry. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is a blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Should we mess up? How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? Yes, and how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Did it again. How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed in the sea? was that? I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time. I really am. I'm supposed to play this all the way through with you, and it's the verses being underneath the chords, okay? I don't normally play it this way. But that's okay. Alright, sorry again. Let's start with the third verse. I really am sorry. I am. I just in that kind of mood where I'm having more fun just playing. You know, it's one of those things where I promised myself on this particular one I was going to try to make it short and sweet. I'm about 11 minutes into this particular part, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be about 20 minutes again. My little missus got on to me a little while ago and said, "You need to make shorter videos." And she's right. She's absolutely right. Please forgive me. All right. Let's do that last verse, okay? All right. Tell you what. Let's just do the first verse again. Everybody knows the first verse. Y'all can practice through and y'all can play the whole song through. But let's do the first verse through and let's be serious about it. I'm sorry, let me be serious about it. It's a beautiful song. I'm just going to do the first verse again. And we're going to call it a day. Must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is a blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. I'm sorry I blew that one, guys, but I don't want to change this video. I actually like the fact that you see that I can mess up too. I ain't perfect. I enjoy playing, and everybody makes mistakes, and believe it or not, what it's about is what I always say it's about. What do I say? It's about having fun. That's what it's about. Playing the ukulele is about having fun to me. Playing any instrument is about having fun to me. You can do the song any way you want to. You can play it real pretty and soft and have a whole lot of feeling and meaning, and you can play it very hard and harsh, and it still has a lot of meaning. I've seen it all different ways, but the main thing is for you to play. So what do I always say? When in doubt, just stick out your thumb and strum. Smile and have fun. That's what it's about. All right, I'll see you next week, and I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Let me know what you're doing. Leave me a message and tell me how it's going. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great week.